welcome to another video. This is gonna be about Raucus Milisakis, aka EspiranTo, and he's playing on Imperial with a bunch of these insane fragger children. And we want to know how this boy is so good. Apparently he's an FPL hero. 17-year-old from Lithuania with a 1.10 something rating. Not versus tier 1 competition, but here's a team who's actually pretty good. You know, these guys are in ECS, big org, a lot of good strong fraggers. And EspiranTo, how's he do it? I mean, you got to rack up all the kills no matter what the round, and the pistol is no exception. So he puts 3 and 4. ADR Fiend. Some other demo review. This is a straight up, but this is a POV. We don't really know. We don't normally do these. We're trying to figure out what makes this kid good. You know, who is this boy? Is he special? Is he speckle? EspiranTo. That's a hella fun name. That's gonna be a fun name to cast, you know, one day. So we have this whole thing on ECS about Freddie B, because it sounds like a radio DJ. But EspiranTo, that like flows too. Connector pressure with his teammate. Just watching stuff. Being very careful. They're keeping this simple. This round actually looks very clean from Imperial. A lot of it's going to come down to the duel over at A. We don't know what's happening over there because we're watching the POV. Don't ask why. And now it's time to trade a little bit of trust in his teammates to get the frags right there as he watches other things. And Freddie B is going to come through for GODSENT. Actually not sure who wins the game, so we'll see about all that. Don't know how to pronounce his name properly, but it's like Raucus Milisakis. And it seemed like EspiranTo was doing all that damage, but Nexa was just in the back lines hitting 1-deeks. Okay. Even though GODSENT pull off the eco, Imperial do the same back. Do back the same also. EspiranTo. They took their time with this one. EspiranTo is clear about a flank. But for his life, he gets his teammates a little bit of information. That's good, just because if you aren't aware of the flank, then that guy can sneak up real close, maybe spot 2 people, line up both frags. But instead there he's forced to fight immediately. Isn't Esperanto the made-up European language? I have no idea. Esperanto, maybe it's the language that Europeans speak. No one's ever said what language Europeans speak, right? It's always like, oh, it depends from where, and like. But in the country of Europe, they must have a language. Top connector smoke. Changes out from the Molotov to the HE. And it seems like he's just kind of middle of the pack here to trade for his teammates. Is always watching something else. Is pretty smart about his angles in the sense that he's not freaking out when action starts happening. He kind of just holds on to his spot. It always seems to be very useful in that regard. Because sometimes when you have 2 or 3 people going up cat or something, everyone's just clearing the same angles and it's redundant. But EspiranTo seems to know how to trust his teammates. It seems like he's a good player to have coming in 2nd or 3rd. make sure to shut down the ability to trade. This is kind of an interesting... Oh, it's not an anti-eco. They might treat it as such, as they, yeah, use him to just scout everything out. Just paying attention here to his routing as he makes his way to the site, and because he didn't see anybody, kind of picked the fastest route, and now is going to apply some A pressure. A! Oh! Will it be another one now? Twist, just as his name implies, is always ready to do that. This guy is 17. Yep, he's 17. He's a tiny human. Oh no, guys, no! Alright. I don't know what happened. EspiranTo at the bottom of connector. Again, I think his teammate has actually, who died, who was with him at top. Cats, let's see how he deals with the pinch. Very careful about the way that he shoots. You know, if you commit too hard to a spray, you lose the ability to multi-frag. And clearly he was ready to have to fight somebody else after that first engagement. Committed hard to the taps. This is pretty awesome to see. Awareness paying off. Once again, not being redundant about angles. So his teammates now got a frag, but still takes the extra precaution of mollying out under Balk. And everybody works together to get the kills. Been a lot of saves. It's been a lot of saves. He's just a lad. I mean, so is Zaiwu. I don't think Nex is that old. It's a bunch of kids playing CS. I wonder if that's what it feels like for GODSENT. They were just that. They were those guys, you know. They were just a bunch of kids playing CS. But now they're a real team on with a real org. And it's like, if they lose to guys like this, it's like, wait, those guys were us 2 years ago. I want to be those guys again. I want to be just the kids playing CS that nobody had expectation for. So now GODSENT are a team. It's just like, if they don't win, there's memes about it. But it's like, if Imperial lose, I mean, no one expected them to win in the first place. So this is the best. This is the best time you're gonna have playing CS. EspiranTo. Enjoy it. Those guys were me 10 years ago. There you go. He's careful. He's safe. He knows how to keep the round moving along as well. Peeking before the smoke pops. Would EspiranTo have done that? I don't think so. Well, there he goes off of the flash, and again is kind of sitting in his spot. This is where he knows to be on standard mid control. Look like he wants to get aggressive because they're down a player. Actually curious to see what the adjustment is for the whole team from his perspective since they're at mid in a 4-on-5. Gotta know how to make a move happen. Somehow Tensky ends up in front. Flashes look good, and there's that pick that he's been waiting for versus connector pressure. Right there, he didn't pre-aim it, but got the trade. 3 to 3. 1 to 6. 452. In California. Esperanto makes his way out to beat. 1v2, 10 seconds up. Needs to get this kill so that he can plant. Somehow is able to kill Hampus, who I think expected a much more rambunctious move, where he might have like swung out to the pillar, and I think was trying to go a couple layers deep, and Esperanto can't finish the spray. Why are we watching this kid? I'm just kidding. It happens. He didn't know where he was. And when he spotted him, he was definitely clear to take the fight. It was close. 1 bullet away. Seems like he freaks people out by being patient. And now, the slow approach. It's kind of dangerous. I have a flash into connector that time for him to cross. Not just yet wasting the nades. A lot of quick switching. It's a very young man habit. Are they ready to actually abuse that Molotov? Looks like they might not be fast enough. And right there, Twist is able to have a free shot on them crossing cat. They do. They get the kill at least. But it's a bit more sketchy. There wasn't actually a good way for Esperanto to cover the op from connector, so it's hard to say. You know, this is like how he needed to fight that. What actually needed to go down was they needed to smoke it. And the 2-on-3 saw one Palace, separates the engagement, and actually jumps up and kills Freddy too. Unlikely situation. And again, we just see him being very careful, not moving very much, but knowing when to get aggressive, when to peek. It's a very good feel for the game. He's not afraid to sit somewhat out in the open if he knows that there's not going to be somebody to fight him. Like in that situation, he cleared that fight at jungle. You know, a lot of people would have stuck to Tetris, you know, just held on to that. But he was kind of roaming a little bit, but in totally opportune positions. Anytime you have somebody holding on to something for you, like CT, in that case, you have a plethora of off angles that are opened up to you that you can now use, that you should use. Good crosser placement, and as he was low on ammo, transitions from a splay to a tap. that works. Young Splay God. You can see he was trying to do that again. And again, a save. Another save. Save after save for GODSENT. Only pistols up. The mechanics look sharp. And that's all we can gather from that. Molly connector. Not sure if the CTs. It seems like that's the smoke the CTs through so that they could peek off Cat. He might activate this now. I'm not sure. Certainly doesn't want to move too slowly. But his teammates. But they still have a man up, so there's no need for him to get killed at the same time. And there it is. Just enough time to where. Oh, it's perfect. He hits connector as well. We've all seen that lurk many times up on Cat, where an Opper is rotating from B but hasn't actually committed to anything and just is waiting to spot the cross. And there he just picks a really good timing where they didn't interfere with him at mid, and he figured I have the opportunity here to be patient. So my teammates are still alive on A. Sometimes, like, the adjustment would be different if two of your teammates die in the site. And you have to suddenly bring it back from a 3 to 4 to a 3 to 3. Then you look to be a little bit more aggressive. But that stuff is pretty simple as well. Yeah, this wasn't a great map for Zywood, but he still had 70 ADR, so I think it's still like totally passable. And again, GODSENT's economy destroyed. Oh, it's been obliterated. He opts too. Thought there was going to be a flank there, but because Roland didn't peek, went for his pick. Flashback mid, one into connector. It's actually aggressive mid control for the CTs. And now EspiranTo's on full alert. Oh, doesn't expect someone to come out of underpass. But he's got a friend in Tensky to help him defend. And now he's taking aggressive connector control and knows that the... maybe sees an opportunity here. He's actually, for the first time, sped things up and instantly regrets it. EspiranTo dies, but he can call that there is probably an operator in window and and a rifle in CT. That's good. That's really good information. Ooh. That's gonna be all you need. A big nade from EspiranTo. And the top connector smoke again. And it looks like when they get this kill quite quickly, he likes to speed it up. Interesting to see him playing this like lurking position when sometimes He is in the midst of the action at mid. Oh, lurked his way out a little bit, but Brolin catches him off one more time. Head of his hands facing the floor. How do we feel about his USP? This is tier 1 USP. Not in the aim department. Brolin is his kryptonite. Those engagements are a little bit random. I never really rate a player based on those. Like, nobody can hit all of those first bullet shots on players that can move that fast and are encouraged to run and jump around. Nobody. This game could be over soon. Brolin finally gets his just desserts from EspiranTo, and it seems like whoever's saving is whoever is going to get the kill, whoever's going to win the trade. Is there more Deagle action to be seen? Maybe from his teammates. Baby, just baby. Oh boy, that was a chance there. Hampus didn't actually see him, and he probably could have been a little bit more careful, but I think that, no, he probably could have been, I don't think there was noise made, so he probably could have been a bit more careful, but he didn't know if Hampus saw him or not. Let's see what position he plays now in the first rifle round of the second half. Side woo drip go. I try to do a Ric Flair woo, but my voice won't let me. Woo on a bitch. Oh, it was a good flick. And that was also the bomb carrier. So now we get to see EspiranTo in an interesting situation. It's actually, wish his teammates weren't doing so well, because I want to know what his adjustment will be now that he can play the bomb. This is more of a unique situation. You know, this is really where I like to see players be in POV situations. The ARAM duel is won. EspiranTo just played that by being on patrol basically between a couple of angles, and this is him obviously being aware of the potentiality of a trade. Okay, so it's going to be called, he's in CT, and EspiranTo makes his way back up closer towards his teammates so that he can trade more easily if it does come down to that. But Freddie B doesn't see a chance in hell that he wins this, so he leaves. It's actually an underpass push. Love that. Oh, flash might be a little bit short. And Hampus. Oh man, he was switching way too much. I think he expected, because his teammates went out for mid control, they would have been able to see him. And this is where you need a flash to come out to peek mid, and he does wait for it. But Twist don't care. It was almost a good escort back to connector. He also had the pre-aim on point. Zaiwu is my son, the first Turk to learn French. Just realized that they actually lost that room. Gotta be patient with the deagle if you want the deagle to reward you. It takes forever for that inaccuracy to get down to its lowest point. They're not gonna steal us back, are they? Uh-oh. Maybe they will. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. They have decided to save one more time. Okay, they had to win that, huh? With no armor? Imperial won this 2-0. I think it's 2-1. Oh, wait, they lost. 2-1. Shit. Excuse me. I apologize. It should not have spoilers, huh? That'd ruin the point. I actually don't I didn't know if they won or lost this. Family stream, I'm sorry. It's a demo review, yeah. But it's like a casual cast, too. What you looking at Esperanto for? Why? Are you guys dating or something? I can't look at Esperanto? Somehow they win this. Esperanto half armor. Insta flick 1D? No. It's 3 meat shots to do it. To do him in. And avoids a couple of nades at CT. I think they expected him to fall back. Is he gonna get more here? Why not? 5 hits total. 5 for 5. And the reload. Kind of random player. Oof. Somebody was like, hey, watch this game. I was like, huh, this kid has 30 frags. Let's watch this kid. And I didn't know anything about him, so I haven't watched an FPL game in a long time. I don't know what kind of random means. I don't really see a lot of randomness in his play, in my opinion. Of course, I would say watch The Prodigy of Lithuania. The Prodigal Son, Esperanto. money grenade. Bang. I think you should do Cirque next. If you do, can't go wrong with that. I have watched... okay, that's it. You know what? I couldn't make a video off of that demo. There are certain players... I think there's stuff to talk about there, and there's probably other matches where he made smarter plays and stuff. He didn't do anything stupid, but... I used to watch... When I would watch Rops's demo, I could just pick a demo from FPL. It was literally like genius moves all game. He definitely stood out to me though, more than some other players that I've watched that were younger players that I wanted to do videos on. I'd say the main takeaways would be that he seems to not be panicked in any situation. It's good tempo on when to make plays and when not to make plays. He's always covering his teammates and is very aware. Mechanics are on point, like knows when to spray and when to tap, and seems very calm in that regard, even versus good teams. That's cool. Maybe we'll watch another game from him or another player in the future. But that was the Esperanto POV demo analysis review. And yeah, check out the store, store.boxer.gg.